Welcome to Christina Lake for this episode of Where You Live. And in the summer, there's nothing better than a day at the lake. Christina Lake is located in the Boundary Country along Highway 3 between Grand Forks and Castlegar. Named after Christina MacDonald, daughter of fur trader Angus MacDonald, the village and lake have always been a popular vacation spot, going back as early as the 1890s. With the warmest water of any tree-lined lake in Western Canada, it's easy to see why, and according to Destination BC, the population sits at 1,435 and easily doubles in size in July and August. We are now at the Christina Lake Welcome Center, and I'm joined by Grace McGregor and Donna Wilczynski. And Donna is the Christina Lake Community Coordinator, and Grace is the Area Director for the Regional District of Kootenay Boundary. So Grace, I'm going to start with you and tell us what's been happening up here in Christina Lake.
There is always a lot happening at Christina Lake, and we've got the big homecoming celebration coming up July 8th. That's a big thing. But other than that, the community works together really well here. And what we're doing right now is we've got a grant in to do a walking bridge because we want to tie the community all together with a walking trail, and we want to go across Christina Creek, not on the big bridge on Highway 3 because it's not very well protected, especially for children, etc., but on a walking bridge below that. So that would tie the community in. And in the summer, we have a lot of walkers out there. So it's important to keep them safe. We're also working on the official community plan update. And that's a big undertaking. In Christina Lake, it takes us at least 3 years of hard work and good community to make that happen. We're also doing a park management plan so that we have a vision, especially for this area of the park, on what we want to see here. What does the community want to see happen? What is it they enjoy doing here? That's all part and parcel of who Christina Lake is. We've got a lot of really dedicated volunteers here, and that's what makes things like this Welcome Center happen and everything else that goes on here. People that stop in say we're really friendly, and we are.
And that's the one thing about Christina Lake is that it is always changing. You guys are always working on something up here.
We are, but we're doing that because of all the people out there at Christina Lake who are willing to take on a role to do that. If that doesn't happen, as you know, nothing happens in your community. You sit there. We've got a community hall. Grand Forks doesn't even have a community hall. We've got a beautiful community hall that was formed in 1945. My parents were part of that. It's part of that get together, be together. We have spaghetti dinners there. The house is packed. We have, all kinds of things, weddings, funerals. Not always happy occasions, but a place for people to gather. And this building does the same thing. When people come off the highway, they get told everything that is going on at Christina Lake, and there's a lot to tell. So we hope everybody stops in here.
For sure. Now, Donna, I'm going to come over to you. Let's talk about the community. You have a very, very unique community with summer residents and full-time residents. Does that make it challenging to work on some projects and that sort of thing?
It is challenging. Any small rural community faces challenges, and we're lucky in exactly what Grace said. Our community is a rich tapestry. The thread is what holds it all together, and that's our community members. There's an incredible lot of stuff going on here. The other thing that we've got that's very unique is a venture capital corporation that was formed a few years ago in 2014, and that is a huge stake in our community where we could become even more sustainable by finding that project that the community can invest in. And so it's all very exciting and very, very new at this point. And we're learning as we go. As Grace says, that it's an incredible group of community members that we have. But not only that, the visitors that come in as well celebrate with us, share with us, help with us. We've got volunteers that come out of the woodwork. We ask for 10 and 50 show up. And so it's just an incredible place to be a part of, and I couldn't be happier to be here.
And I might want to add that we have what's called the Little Lakers. And you may not have heard about the Little Lakers yet, but that's childcare. It was a lot of work getting it started. Core group that worked really, really hard to make that happen, and it's now really doing well. It's in a building across the street, and they're going to be doing some summer programming with little children, so that's also exciting. But we also have a pharmacy out here, and we've got 3 doctors. What community of this size has all that? We've got it all here. We really do.
For sure you do. And, let's talk a little bit more about the Little Lakers then. So that's summer programs for the summer residents?
No, it's mostly for the children they will be looking after. And so they're really new, so they're starting and trying to put some things together to keep people there through the summer, and to free up some parents' time as well. That's who they are. We are so lucky because even the teacher over there is very highly qualified. What more can you ask for? Really, people like to live out here. They like the lifestyle, so they don't mind working here, and that's what we really, really like.
For sure. And do you find it hard? Obviously you're not, because you do have fair, decent population for full-time residents. But are you finding it hard to sort of draw people into the area?
No, and yes and no. It depends on what type of work you're looking for. An awful lot of people live here and work away, or some of them live here and use their computer, which is really, really important. Or they work in Grand Forks. Some of them travel to Trail, but they like the lifestyle at Christina Lake. And so in that aspect, we don't have to really draw them in that way. As far as industrial type jobs, we do not have that at Christina Lake. And there's some people that would like to have that happen. But there's only certain things that fit into the lifestyle of Christina Lake. So you have to be really careful. Thus, the venture capital group that we formed, that Donna was speaking about a few years ago. So we're looking for really good projects to support. We started venture capital a number of years ago because it's hard for businesses to get capital to start up. Lots of banks won't lend to you unless you've got a lot of collateral. And if you have that, you probably don't need that much help. So, we did a lot of research on it, and we were fortunate enough to have the United Church supply the $25,000 it takes to put in the bank so that you can be a venture capital corporation. We've walked through all that. We did the manual for venture capitals for community, which is really good. We've lobbied the province to make some changes in the legislature that'll make it easier for communities to do that. Donna sits there as well, and she's a great wealth of information, I got to say. Christina Lake is really happy to have Donna join us because she's got some background that is really, really important for things like this. So now we're looking for the ideal project to go out to Christina Lake and say, do you want to support this?
So Donna, what sort of project then would be the ideal project to work on?
Well, currently there are some guidelines that venture capital has to adhere to, provincial guidelines, and a lot of them are focused on, of course, eco-friendly and anything that is green, etc. Part of the legislation changes I feel that should take place or need to take place is any business that's started in any small rural community is valued, highly valued. And things like the trades, for example, everybody's got electricity, everybody's got a toilet in their house, and the trades have got to be focused on a little bit more. And I guess realizing the fact as well that any business that is started in a small community is, like I said, valued, but they need the help as well. And to get that started, like Grace said, a lot of the banks don't want to entertain something like that, and that's where we come in. We've heard a number of projects at the table, and none has been quite the fit. Some we've sent off to do a little bit more homework to come back and visit the table again, and they're doing that. And we're very excited. There's a couple of irons in the fire that we're not at liberty to say right now, but we're waiting for that project to bring home and make Christina Lake even better place to live, sustainable, and jobs all year round.
The interesting thing about Christina Lake is that they've always made it quite clear that we do not want to be a Kelowna. And we've all paid a lot of attention to that. And once again, as we walk through the official community plan update, we'll have that conversation again. What is your vision? What is it that you want to see happen? What needs protection? And what kind of things do you want to set out for developers, for instance? What does that look like? So it's always been made very clear on every community meeting that they value the lifestyle, they don't want to be a Kelowna, but we'd like a few more jobs for people to live here with children. So we're working on that.
our recreation. Recreation is so highly valued here as well, and we are so lucky to have this gamut of trails. The Trans-Canada Trail is right in our back door, and we have people that come internationally. They come and use the trails, and those are, the trails are maintained by local stewardship groups, and it's just, and I'm repeating myself, but it's an incredible bunch of people that help us out there, and the recreation trails and the recreation opportunities here would fall along those guidelines, and we would welcome anything like that.
And we do have a park and rec, a local park and rec committee, and we have put in brand new pickleball courts. And we do a big pickleball tournament at our homecoming celebration, and it's become bigger and bigger and bigger. We had our first one last year, and this year they had 30 people the first day they even advertised it. Wow. So it's now a 2-day event. So we've got that, we've got new tennis courts, we've got outdoor exercise equipment, and we're a small community, so we're doing it right.
We've now moved over to Arts on 3, which is part of the Welcome Center here at Christina Lake. And Christina Lake does have a vibrant art community. And I'm joined by Bob Dupuy. And Bob, maybe start off by telling us, what does the art community look like in Christina Lake?
Well, if you look around you, you'll see a lot of things that are representative of the number of artists that we have here. We have a really vibrant community as far as the arts go. A lot of people creating in their own little studios, in their back rooms, in their garages, whatever it takes. But it's surprising how many people have come out of the woodwork to bring their wares into here to be sold. What you see is probably 95% here is local, regional artists that have created all this stuff. We have a few glass blowers who are friends of mine who have actually brought their stuff in from a ways away, because we don't have any glass blowing facility in Christina Lake per se. But most of the other things you see here, paintings, torch work, wood turnings, pottery, all that kind of stuff are created right here in this area.
So the nice thing about Art on 3 being at the Welcome Center is it really does give tourists a chance to see all of the artists that make their home here in Christina Lake.
Absolutely, yeah. And a lot of people come here and are just amazed by how many really, unique artists we have too. So they can take something home that says Christina Lake to them or to their family, or lots of people come here for, well, I have to find a memento for, my cousin back in Nova Scotia that says Christina Lake to them or to me, right? So, yeah.
Do you find it a challenge to get? Obviously, looking around at the gallery, it's full. Do you find it challenging to get?
We're always looking for new work, and one of the reasons that we wanted to create this whole center in the first place was to focus on the arts. There was the initial design was to have a whole studio facility out back here that was going to be a teaching facility. Right now we're here and we're representing as many people as we can from the area, but we always welcome more, so we're always on the lookout.
For sure. Let's talk about the featured artists that you've got up right now. Gorgeous pieces of the lake.
You just missed it. The opening was on Sunday, and Lita Bach is from Grand Forks. She's a young woman who has 2 children. She farms. She runs her dad's sawmill lumberyard and manages to paint an amazing amount of stuff. This the wall that you see here is just a smattering of what she's done. There's a whole nother room over here full of her work.
I can see it
and it's all based on the Christina Lake theme. So if you look carefully, you'll see a lot of things that are like the Cascade Falls down here with the raven right in the middle of it. There's a beautiful wake, early morning wake from whatever. On the far right there, and just her use of color is really, really exceptional.
You bet. Now, do you have is the featured artist, is it a rotating thing on a monthly basis? Or?
Yeah, we do it on a kind of a bi-monthly during the summertime, and then maybe 3 months in the off season.
Yep.
We had just before this, we featured local artists. So we had a lot of unknown artists that were doing things on their own, but really hadn't exhibited them anywhere. So we were trying to encourage that kind of thing. And part of what it came out of was doing a series of workshops over the winter time, which we call the Cabin Fever Relievers. And it got people out on a Sunday afternoon doing all kinds of creative things like card making, monoprints, jewelry making, cake decorating. I mean, it was a great series of things, and we're going to be doing that during the summer as well. So it brought a lot of people out of the woodwork that way.
So I imagine if people want more information on those workshops, they can find it. Do you guys have a website?
We do. ChristinaLakeArts.com.
You bet.
Thank you for asking. Now, the other part that you may ask me about is the performances, because CLASS, Christina Lake Arts and Artisans Society, which also runs the gallery here, does a whole series of performances over the year. In the summertime particularly, we do quite a few more because we can take them outside. We've got a gorgeous courtyard out here and a bit of a stage on the patio, and people bring their lawn chairs, and we have really notable musicians and performers come in and just have a series of that going on as well. So it's a good way to, bring people out for special events like that. And Christina Lake is a wonderful place, but there isn't a whole lot going on in terms of activities, except there's the lake.
Yeah.
And what more could you want, really?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
But this is a great way to get the family together on a summer's evening at the lake.
Exactly. Yes.
You bet.
Yeah.
And all of those dates are also on the website?
They will be very soon. We're just about to finalize our summer series right now, so yes.
Okay. Part of what makes up the Christina Lake Welcome Center is the Christina Lake Stewardship Society. I'm now joined by Lori Grant, who is the new coordinator for the Stewardship Society. So maybe start off by telling us, what is the Stewardship Society?
The Stewardship Society is an organization that started back in 2001 to solicit stewardship of the lake and the community, thereby protecting the environment, the water, the species of plants and animals all around the lake, and educating the public all about it. The nature park covers the whole area here behind us, and it is a reclaimed land that used to be a mill in the years gone by, and so a lot of the area needs to be restored. The land had been degraded, so one of the things that we've done is on the waterfront replace some of the invasive species with native plants. And one of the things, the way that we get the native plants is we created our nursery. So we take clippings and we root them, plant them. When they're ready to go, we place them in the land that all along the lakefront.
And now the public also has an opportunity to create their own reclaimed land by planting their own native species, correct?
Yes, we do offer tours of our nursery, and we also offer plants if people would like to create the native environment in their own lakefront properties.
Now you guys have done a number of initiatives with the lake to clean it up with your cleanup day, as well as a number of other initiatives. Let's just talk about those.
Sure, we just had our 17th annual Lake Cleanup Day on May 27th. With an amazing turnout by the local population, both on that particular day as well as many days before and after. People here having a fierce pride and enthusiasm about keeping the lake natural and beautiful. So we gathered 50 bags of garbage, which is reduced over the years because we continue to keep it clean, but nonetheless 50 bags of garbage, and over 30 people participated. We had donations from Grace McGregor of the Area D, I apologize, it's Area C here at the lake, and we were able to offer prizes of 10 prizes of $100, as well as some other local prizes for those people that participated.
That's awesome. And one of the other things that you guys have going on right now is that you have a number of initiatives for a number of different invasive species that are going on in the lake. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about first, you've got great northern pike in the swimming its way through the lake, correct?
not necessarily through the lake. One was spotted in Christina Creek, and there were efforts made to capture it, which fell flat, unfortunately. So we're offering a challenge coming up this summer for local residents to try and help us capture the northern pike. Another initiative we're doing is the prevention of the invasive mussels that have traveled across North America and haven't yet hit our lake. So we are one of the initiators to develop a program to prevent that and work on that each weekend in the summer. We also have the solar aquatic system, which treats all of the sewer from the Welcome Center and has capacity to grow as the needs grow in the community. It uses sand, plants, and UV rays to take the sewer and create fresh water from it.
And you're going to be offering tours of that this summer?
You bet. We're offering tours of our system as well.
You bet. So let's go back to the zebra mussels. What are you guys doing to prevent the spread of it here?
We are setting up, we have a number of pamphlets, brochures, and education materials that we try to proliferate through the province, as well as we have a station set up where we can check boats that come into the community and see if they have any mussels and give them awareness of how to prevent them from traveling to any waterway.
You bet. So lots of ways that you can be a steward in your own community and help protect the environment.
We have a viewing center where we have a number of materials. We have some animals, pelts, we have some displays, and we have a youth program that happens every Thursday in the summer for children ages 6 to 12 to participate with their parents. We feel that if children get this information at a young age, it will carry with them throughout their lives.
And so what does the youth program entail?
Each week we will be taking a different subject of interest, the first one being fish species, and provide a bit of a educational session, a bit of a tour, like an outdoor walk, and then a fun craft to do so that the information could be carried home.
You bet. Now, you guys have a website, I'm sure, where all of this information is posted, correct?
Yes, we do. We welcome everyone to come out to the lake. It's a beautiful spot to be in the summer to get away from the hectic lives you may have in any other city, and it's a beautiful place to be, and you won't be disappointed.
And what would a trip to Christina Lake be without hitting the beach? I'm now joined by Cindy Albles, who is the tourism manager for Christina Lake. So Cindy, thanks so much for joining us today. Let's talk about Christina Lake. It is the warmest lake, is it not?
It is. Christina Lake is considered to be the warmest tree-lined lake in all of Canada.
You bet.
It gets up to, last year it was 26 degrees and the year before it was 28 degrees Celsius.
So it's a perfect lake for water sports then, isn't it?
Absolutely. We have a multitude of sports that happen here on our lake. We have paddleboarding, which is a wonderful sport. We see lots of those all summer long. We also have motorized boats as well that come onto our lake. And of course, the kayaking is absolutely outstanding with our beautiful pictographs that we have along the rock face of our shores, and the north end of our lake makes an absolutely wonderful spot to kayak and paddleboard and do water sports and water skiing as well as motorboats as well in our community.
And there's not just stuff to do on the lake, there's stuff to do off the lake too. There's lots of events that are coming up this summer.
Absolutely. We have a great lineup of events between all of the different organizations here, including the Tourism Society. We've received a Canada 150 grant, acknowledgement to the Government of Canada, and that will be a bonus to our Christina Lake Homecoming Summerfest. That is our annual fest. This year marks our 8th annual Homecoming Summerfest, and it is going to be bigger than ever. If you haven't been to one, this is the year you're going to want to come.
You bet. And what sort of things can people expect to see at Homecoming?
Well, at Homecoming, we always have our annual pancake breakfast, which happens at the community hall in the morning, and an awesome vendor market with lots of vendors. And then our big celebration happens down here at the beach, starting at 4 o'clock, our open ceremonies. So this year we'll be hosting the Great Canadian Lakers Games, and there'll be a series of 13 different games that represent each one of our provinces, and there'll be a series of really fun-spirited games like air mattress races with hockey sticks and 100-meter swim on a noodle with a a life jacket on and ring toss onto an animal and build a beaver, which I think is a hilarious one too. And so they're going to be really fun spirited games, things that all people can participate in, not just people who are physical. We'll also have games like word scrabbles and things to make it really fun. And the winners, first, second and third winners, will actually receive medallions by local artists. So that will be very special. We'll also be having the Great Canadian Crafters tent, which will be making kites, 150 kites people will be able to make, as well as handing out free tattoos and face painting. We're very fortunate to be having Petunia and the Vipers coming this year, which is through the grant. We're able to bring them in here as a professional band from Vancouver, and we have a wonderful lineup of musicians coming from across the province, as well as our local musicians. And then to top the night, we have our grand finale Light Up the Lake Boat Parade, and it's for motorized and non-motorized boats. It makes for a wonderful ending to our evening with the music on the beach, the fire spinning, and then the boats come through with their lights on. It's a magical evening, so we really hope that you'll be able to join us.
Whew, something for everyone. Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So let's talk about the lake. What makes Christina Lake so unique?
Well, I'm sure you've heard from other people today how wonderful our community is. We have a small community that influxes to almost 10,000 people in the summer, but our core community is made up of over 30 organizations, which makes us really special. We're a tight-knit community that really makes things happen here. With all of the different events, with being proactive with our stewardship, and with our trails, we're very fortunate. We have 27 different public access trails, ranging from very easy to double diamond. If you can go way up to Xenia Lake there, it makes for those free spirits out there, it makes for a good adventure. But we also have our beautiful Trans-Canada Trail that runs right through our community, making it very accessible for people of all mobilities.
And, you know, the Trans-Canada Trail, it does go, well, right across Canada. But really, the Christina Lake portion is rather unique because it does have the trestle, correct?
Absolutely. It runs right into the trestle, which is where the Cascade Gorge is. We have a 100-foot cascading gorge, which is absolutely spectacular. This year, it has been amazing with the high waters. It's been beautiful. And it's actually a very special spot, too. It has a lot of historical significance. Thousands of years ago, the Sinaiaks, the interior Salish people, this was a spot that they came to meet and do their trading. And earlier, or more recent, in the early 1900s, it was also dammed using the Tesla energy conversion. And today you can actually still see remnants of that history. You can see the old powerhouse, which at the time in the 1900s was state-of-the-art powerhouse. And now you can still see the base of it. You can see the old aqueduct. So it makes that journey on the trail in the Trans-Canada, it makes it very interesting, not only just for the visuals of the beauty of what you see, the river, the Christina Creek meeting into the Kettle River. You see the overlooking Christina Lake, as well as this falls, which is pretty special, and the history behind it.
Absolutely, it for sure is spectacular. So if anyone wants any more information and if they want some help planning their vacation to Christina Lake, I'm sure you're more than willing to help them out.
Absolutely. I'd ask you to stop down to our Welcome Center. We have our Visitor Services information desk there, and all our staff and our Christina Lake ambassadors are there to help you with any information or needs that you may need to make your vacation amazing.
You bet. Yeah. So there's no better place to enjoy your summer than right here at Christina Lake. For Where You Live in Christina Lake, I'm Jennifer Waldy.